to do it.
It's the stream is happening. No, that's not how you do it. No, no. Let's learn how the chess. Do you remember how
Okay.
chess
I
works?
know. I have to relearn it again.
Okay,
Don't
so
don't waste time. Don't
no,
waste.
there's nothing to relearn.
Okay.
We'll move by move. Opening move, most people go either pawn to space or knighty. They usually go horsey.
Mm-hmm.
The horsey's in the wrong spot, but they usually go
Mm-hmm.
horsey.
Mm-hmm.
And so horsey goes L's. They
Yes.
go upside down L's. So people, that's a strong move is a good horse out.
Mm-hmm.
Or I like a good
It's like a kablizzle.
you can do that. That's a
Yeah.
thing. And then
Yeah.
I like a good double pawn because
Mm.
then it gets room for other people to do their stuff.
Words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then I can almost double pawn them shits like that.
yeah. And then I can go like, are you sweating yet?
I mean, I could also be like, well, damn, maybe I need to sacrifice a motherfucker right there just to see what's up.
And maybe I'm like, maybe you ain't good enough for me.
I'd be like, maybe I kind of don't give a shit because that's happening.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
I think that's totally a thing.
Yeah,
Because yeah, it's all
I
the
did the
thing.
L.
The space. It's like a thing.
Right,
It's a non-diagonal diagonal.
kind of.
We
It's
got the music
the
going,
half
the
L.
stream's going,
What's up?
that's off. And if I go like this, we'll go like
Scooby hyper real.
oh, but
Super slow mo.
this
Oh, it's delayed. I like
it
it.
is it's double delayed.
I like twitching. Who's twerking? Nobody. Twitching.
All right, I think we got. Hey, you say a thing,
Thing.
be like really stellar, like sing. All right, yeah, we're good. That's good.
Okay,
We're not gonna
cool.
crack it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
No code tracking
we're
today.
good. Limon
Lime on.
EP.
Dark chocolate. YOLO. Or Yoli, according to this bottle.
We got Eddie in this. We got Eddie in the station.
What's
We
going
got
on?
Eddie in the terracotta room.
Hey, son.
Schaefer.
Schaefer.
Schaefer. Eddie Schaefer.
Yes. Montregar.
Is it are you a birth Eddie? Because I knew someone who's a birth Willie and he's trying to go around and tell people he's a William.
Well, there's no Edium here. There is no Edward. It's a by birth Eddie.
Straight up Eddie.
Yeah,
I respect a E,
yeah,
of like an IE or a Y, just going all for it.
totally for it. Double D, IE, 2E. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And then
There's no
Schaefer.
rules.
No,
There's no name rules
I mean,
besides not too many numbers and letters. I think
that's right. No,
Elon Musk pushed that one.
he sure did. He's pushing a lot of things. He's pushing free speech
Oh,
too, which is
I
fantastic.
gunked those all to hell.
He sure did, man.
It's a sweaty day out there
Your
in
Elton John
Chicago.
glasses.
It's a
Yeah, it's
sweaty. These are
disgusting.
not the Elton John
Well, I
glasses.
mean,
I have Elton
I'm
John
just trying
ones,
to give
and
you
they're
some
big.
props.
They're like,
Right, they're a little bit bigger, but you've got your own flow. You've got your own, and you match. You actually,
guys, I match.
rose,
Oh,
rose-colored glasses.
if you look yonder through
Yes.
the light with your
Hmm.
X-ray vision,
Yes.
there's my step bag of 100 patches that say I'm Bontrager.
Well, I'm gonna get one
Are
before
you?
this night's over.
Are you?
I'm gonna out chess you for it.
I mean, we're pretty chest.
I mean, we are a little bit
Thanks,
chest.
bud.
Oh, hell to the no.
I
Oh, well,
tricked you.
that's the fucking thing that does that.
Tricked you, brother.
Yeah, you did.
Tricked
You
you.
did.
Got you
It,
real
it
good.
doesn't take long to
Got you
trick
real
this
good.
guy.
Got you, brother.
No tricking.
See you in the next life, brother. Were
So,
you a lost man? Were you a man of the lost?
was that what my name implies that I was lost? Eddie Schaefer? I was not. I was found. I was lost at one time, and then I found myself again, and I found myself in comedy, which is strange because I was.
No,
I,
no, the show Lost.
oh, was I a lost man? I
Because
thought
I
you were
did because I
speaking
did the.
metaphorically or
I
some.
mean, well, a lost man would be like would be like a forgotten man. Did you, that was the cool way to say hobo back in
Right.
the day.
The
It's a
forgotten
forgotten
man.
man.
He's on a train,
It's
and he didn't pay a fare.
there's this movie called My Man Godfrey,
Yeah.
and it's the whole like he was a forgotten man. They all say that every time. Like it's a dirty hobo. Like they shouldn't.
The forgotten man, or dirty hobo. In other words. It's like saying midget today.
Oh man,
Ima-
press F in the
ima-
chat if
imagine
you're
a
listening.
midget hobo.
Thanks for coming. Don't
Thank-
come too hard
Yeah,
or whatever.
don't do it. Don't YOLO that much.
We're 2.8 CPU usage.
Mm.
We're Oh, dude, we're all good. No, we're dropping no frames. I was scared. This is the first time I haven't gone hardwired.
Oh,
I'm very nervous.
well, don't be.
We're over the wireless of fidelities.
Well, I mean, the fidelities are kind of vainglorious for me, and
Yeah,
I really like speaking the
yeah,
language of Bontrager.
yeah.
I feel like I fit right in.
I heard you starting to try to mythologize your origin story and stand up. We'll put a pin in that.
Mm.
But did you watch The Lost?
I did not watch The Lost, and if I did, it was very short-lived. The Lost. I did not become a mega fan. I could appreciate the writing, the complexities, but it didn't joggle my bits enough to get nerded out enough for the series.
They should have just gone with getting canceled.
That would have been good.
Like, because there was a point, I think it was like season 4,
Yeah.
and they were like negotiating,
Was
like
that the Jump the Shark season?
well, they were like that was the time when they negotiated for like we were gonna end in 3 more seasons,
Right.
and
Like
but
the
ABC,
Cure, like the Cure, the band The Cure,
yeah,
is saying, "Oh yeah, this is our last time."
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think they're no more because I don't know how much Robert Smith is deteriorated in his goth look, but I don't know. That let's
I don't know anything about the Cure.
well those that are old like me. But moving
It's
back
not even
to
about being old. I never listened to the
right,
music of the time.
ah
I'm only now being like, oh, I guess 90s music is okay.
ah.
Yeah.
To me, nothing sucked. It was original. It was like a resurgence, like it was in the '60s. And
Mm.
I look back today and I go, yeah, that was all made with class and a little bit of style and some tech,
So
some
yeah, stuff was happening.
yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like a rebirth. Like they're like rock and roll. It wasn't so much rock and roll as like they're just not a word for it as much. Like if all the different like grunges and all that
Yeah, the
stuff.
alternative term came into play for the first
But
time, and it was like,
it
well,
doesn't
even
make
the
any
artists of
sense.
that time were like, well, alternative to what? I mean,
Yeah.
and it was just corporate, folks not knowing enough about music and trends.
Well, it's them wanting to brand a
Well, of
movement and
course.
actually letting the movement brand itself,
So
I guess.
Nirvana was the soup of the du jour, right? They were the ones that kind of led the charge, or they're the most notable, the most widespread amongst all genres of music, seemingly. And they found a formula in the band Bush, if anyone remembers that band, and it was very formulaic to the tune of Nirvana. And I thought, okay, well now the A&R people, the corporate entities are finding, you know, the copies of the original idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when that movement started to take a downturn.
Yeah.
Little 90s history lesson.
Once it gets absorbed, it's
Like all things good, it can only burn so hot.
like when you go to Bonnaroo and all the showers are sponsored by Garnier Fructis. I think you should leave.
Was that
That's the year I went, and I'm like,
wow.
"God damn
Holy
it, I
Moses.
went too late."
That doesn't sound clean either.
That's like just
Just sounds like dirty soap shower.
ah. But yeah, I went on an okay year because it's either dry or wet.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's dry. I'll go with cattle shoot dust clouds
Okay, for sure.
over being just muddy for
Yeah.
4 days.
Yeah. Yeah, just dry Birkenstocks over hemp butter any day of the week.
Ugh. Ugh.
I remember there was a day of hemp butter. Like there was a day in Chicago where everyone converged and it was like Earth Day. It was the one legal day to smoke pot in Chicago. I think it was in Soldier Field
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
parking lot of. And this was like 20 freaking years ago. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like maybe 22
yeah, yeah,
and a guy was like riding around like hemp butter, hemp butter. I'm like fucking hemp butter.
yeah, yeah,
I'm looking at it and I'm like, you just stuffed weed into a fucking ball of butter.
yeah, yeah,
But I think they blended it because it
yeah,
had its own kind of look and texture to it. And I was just helping all my hippie friends out of the back of their van sell nitrous and
yeah, yeah.
weird shit. And then finally it's like, okay, before the coke gets in, probably get me back home.
Hey, if enough of us smoke in this parking lot, they can't stop us
Well,
all.
and they let them have it and they let them do it, and it was pretty dope. And I didn't stick around. I think I was multitasking that day. I was just making my rounds. But it would have been great to actually hang out because I didn't really personally think it was going to get pulled off. And I was like, this is a miracle. I can't believe they're doing this. This is one of the great amenities of being in Chicago, in the
Yeah, yeah,
city,
yeah.
apparently, a major metropolitan enterprise. And, but that was the first time that I saw, like, oh, this could be the future. And now it is.
And now
And I don't even really smoke anymore.
we need like weed clubs. We need like a
Right.
there's no lounges.
I
They're all
know.
like secret.
Well, it's hookah lounges. right? But that's not the same. And I mean, you can throw your weed into the shisha, but that's not a good look.
I don't think you're. Yeah, I don't think you're
Or a
supposed
good.
to
I
be.
tried that once, and they were like, "No, sir, please don't."
That's what. Yeah, that's
That
why
was
a lot
when
of
I
them
was
they curate
wilding.
it. They
Yes,
they they do the pastes.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they have to. They bring over the new shisha and the new look, and it's classy. I like that. You do get a bit of a buzz off of the shisha itself. It's very floral. It's fruity. It's got a nice text. I like it, and I also love Turkish coffee. That whole culture
I
of
keep
stuff.
forgetting to try to find a hookah lounge to like do a comedy show in.
I mean, you might have to talk to somebody. They might be forthcoming. Who knows? I
But
mean,
yeah,
the comedy thing is taking over all of Chicagoland as it is in the pod, and so they may feel that, oh, maybe I'm part of something. Maybe this would curate more business.
well, yeah, and like it has to be one that has like the like an open like a chill everyone open room
Right.
area instead of like a bunch of private tenty
I'm
things.
surprised with people what they've what spaces they've acquired and like who they've talked to. I'm sure you could kind of finagle your way. You're a very professional man with professional gear and
Stats in the wilds. This is not a tiny vibrator on my neck. Um, this is actually this is
disrespect
actually a
already.
tiny replica of a scuba tank. As you can see, I've flattened the bottom of it so it can sit on a table like a scuba tank would.
Or go up your rectum if
So
that's what
so
you're
I did
referring
acknowledge
to.
you, Gregory. Gregory.
That gets a lot of juice, this thing. It's a lot of
Why
hype.
did why is it ever? I mean,
It should have its own fucking podcast, clearly.
I made okay. I'll keep. This is the I was making jewelry when I was in middle school.
Uh,
I got all these aerosol cans. They're awesome. And if you just
done
nail,
sucking
if you
nitrous
just
out of it.
you just put yeah you put a nail in the top,
Mm-hmm.
open it up, you put a screw in there, you glue it, and you hammer down the bottom a little bit.
Right.
You just hammer down the bottom,
And it's flat and it looks like
and then it looks like a tiny little scuba tank. And you spray paint it,
that's
and then
kind of amazing. Yeah.
it's
Or
aged now. I
a
found it.
large H2O tank, the helium balloons. Little medium. Like if you were gonna set your own Lego set, that could be like, the helium balloon tank for the little Lego kids to come and suck
Yeah,
off
yeah.
of. Hey
And
mom, how you doing? Hey,
well,
and
it's
freak
like, and
out
I
because
just
they're
it's so
dying.
old. The paint's chipped and stuff, so now it looks like an actual old little
I
thing.
mean, it's art,
It's fuck you, Greg.
miniature art. Greg,
Tell your students to get in the Twitch chat
get
and have 20 people
yeah,
currently chatting so I can
yeah.
become an affiliate, Greg.
Get
Do
get
work.
get
Do
professional, Greg.
work,
Get
Greg.
professional. This is a serious operation we have going on. So maybe
Oh.
maybe meet us halfway.
All right. You were mythologizing your comedy origin. So let's talk about anime.
Uh, so the anime that I got turned on to originally started when Akira really popped off. The dystopian narrative, this sort of cyberpunk meets, high end
Yeah, yeah.
fast action realism anime,
Yeah, yeah.
and just no holds bar violence and action.
Because it was that I think it was that company that at the time released a couple of those movies um at the same time on VHS. It felt like it felt like it was like Akira and then like Vampire Hunter D or something like that.
Sure, yeah, another hot one. I mean, I feel like this
Was Hunter D, was that the one where like the one guy shot the dude's brain out of his head and it splatted on the wall and
I
fell
mean, it
down? I
sounds
don't
like
know.
every anime cartoon I've ever watched.
But I've looked for that scene and it's only happened specifically in one old one.
Vampire Hunter D.
I think
Well,
it was
I
Hunter
know that
D.
was a hot one, but I got into Akira and then I just did not follow suit with the rest of the anime world. But I mean, I know there was a period of time where it was just like I was just all into that. Nothing really comes to memory. I sort of like absorbed it all and kind of moved on from it all. But I know that Spirited Away was like the kind of second wave for me
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it took this fantastical kind of mushroom trip and took it into this, Alice in Wonderland sort of narrative or motif, and I thought that was wonderful, um, and then the next phase was Gantz Zero.
Ooh,
That was a fucking game changer for me, dude.
dude.
It was sexy, it was violent, it was hyper real. I mean, it hyper real. I mean, it was just done in such a realistic form, and the technology and the computer animation was so seamless. Um,
They made a newer Gantz movie that was all
mm,
CG.
okay,
So
a
it was
newer
pretty cool.
beyond the one that I'm talking
Yeah,
about the
yeah, yeah.
program.
It's another story beyond the series,
Ooh,
basically.
well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to see it.
Yeah, yeah, it's on Netflix or something. But yeah,
Okay.
I always think that for Akira that someone was saying Akira, but no, it's
Right.
Tetsuo.
Don't shut up. Yeah. Yeah.
I always forget it the wrong way. Akira, but no one screams that. No one
No,
ever says that. They just like whisper Akira.
right. Right. It's almost too underground goofy for people to. I don't know. There's way more silly things that people are. I mean, there's like, let's just look at every like underage girl doing a Big Bank video. You know, I mean, it's like I'd like to go back to the world of anime. Honestly, it's like so much insecurity from so many people making videos that are just posting how hot they look or how thirst trappy they are. And I'm a sucker for it. I'll admit, I'm a sucker for it all the time. It's better than porn. I'm really trying to convert to just big bank videos. I'm probably looking at underage people. You know, it's an Abercrombie and Fitch fuck fest
It's
happening in front of
it's
my eyes.
I mean, there should be another age limit on Instagram or
Kind
something.
of thinking that
There
maybe
should be another
like an
tier.
NR, like an NRI, NR Insta NR. Yeah, so I was prophesizing my gateway into comedy anime. But yeah, Akira was kind of the bomb, and I it definitely jumped off a lot of those. You know, I could form an appreciation for it, and I know there's some other films that I'm not recalling right now, but definitely I was at some point there was probably a string of years that may not have been like
You ever
off and
you ever
on.
see Redline?
Sounds familiar, but never.
Um,
Sounds
it's
familiar, but never
it's
have.
awesome. Because it's like it's high speed racing,
Okay.
and then like there's a point where like they're going so fast, it's like the line just stretching.
Oh
It's
wow.
fucking. It's just like really good art style.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you'll have to. You know what? I'm going to rely on you maybe to hit me to a lot of these
So
new.
I guess that's why this is anime reading club, guys. This is anime reading club.
Is this what this is?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
even
so.
know what this interview's about, and
I
we're
mean,
just
it was
like
anime.
figuring it
It
out on
was
the
you were
fly.
supposed to be watching anime. You didn't watch an
I
anime,
sure did. I fucked up on
so
the homework.
yeah. So now we're
Okay.
just dicking around.
Oh well, that's not good. I feel like I've just wasted your time.
I mean, it's the first time we haven't even done an anime review on the channel yet. We've only done a boys video,
Ah.
so we're even just
Okay.
dicking around. We're just even dicking around on the channel. Me and the
Well,
German are like going crazy.
the
We're gonna do a Lorelei or Diali
the
video
poor
this
Puerto
week.
Rican German is getting wild up in this piece. Yeah, and the Creole is also getting a little swizzy behind the wheels tonight.
But yeah, so what I was gonna have you watch From the New World,
Mm,
first three episodes. We could do that next time, or
okay,
and then there's also Yuri Kuma Arasha. If
okay.
you're into lesbian bears
I mean, you
infiltrating
had me at lesbian.
infiltrating. So they're lesbian bears who infiltrate an all girls high school to
Mm,
to socially isolate and call a virgin and
already sounds completely illegal.
drink her drink her flower. It
Yeah,
doesn't
I
make any
mean, well,
sense.
yeah. It all leads to
So
underage
basically,
slave labor.
there in the first I mean, it's not even like it happens like every episode basically. So like I don't even know what's
It's some
happening.
dark web,
It's the one
black
anime
shit.
where I'm like even I don't even understand it. Like usually I can be like I'll translate this anime for you, but I'm like, so they go undercover. They like find a loner girl, and then she's all she's like whatever, and then the two undercover bears have to go to the bear court
Loner
to
Girl, sung to the tune of Skater Boy by
yeah.
Avril Lavigne.
And then so then the bear judges are like, yeah, you can
Mm,
totally do the thing, but
yeah.
I don't know, I don't. And so then like a weird cutscene happens where like the two undercover bears turn into their bear forms, and then they're doing like a Sailor Moon like weird dance thing
Yeah.
with the girl virgin person, and then
Okay.
you see like a literal flower bloom
Mm,
from the frame, and then the bears lick the honey from the flower, but the flower's not
yeah.
connected to the
Not
girl
sig-
physically.
of course not.
But
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
connected.
So not suggestive at all.
So that happens.
Okay, I
I've
like it.
never finished that show. I've
Probably
only watched
because
5 episodes.
you have an orgasm before you can finish, and then you're
I
tired.
just don't understand what's happening.
Well, I think it's meant for your body to react rather than your brain to perceive.
Isn't it very?
So hit me to that. I'll watch it.
There's
I'll
that.
get tuned up before that. Thanks for even saying next time. I thought the fact that I didn't even do my
Yeah,
homework
you're
would,
fired.
yeah, completely fired.
No, no, I figured you can
The
be.
Bontrager experience.
I figure it's funny you like anime, but you don't anime, and you kind of missed like 2 whole ages of anime.
Yeah,
Like you're talking about like Silver Age basically, and
yeah.
you've missed like
Silver
the
Fox
Golden
Age.
Age and like
Yeah.
postmodern, and it's just
I
like,
can tell
what are
you
we
what I've
doing?
liked and what I have liked, and the fact that it didn't keep my attention for more than 3 decades.
Yeah.
It probably is telling of how much of a fan I really am.
No, it's you just don't know, you don't understand what you missed, bro. You don't understand what you
I like that
missed.
you're still giving me a chance to redeem myself.
I'm saying I'll play the first 5 minutes of From the New World. You'll be like, okay,
I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
you want to do it right now?
We don't have to.
We could.
Let's do it.
We have the power.
We do. There's no
There's no
limit.
rules.
There's no limitations
There's
in
no
this
rules.
bitch.
There's no rules.
I mean, no one's gonna be like copyright infringement. You know what I mean? Unless you get like 1 million views, especially after I'm on. What is Mr. Eddie doing on Twitch? This is a first. It's a game changer.
What do you mean? Is this a bit, Greg? What do you mean? Is this a bit?
Who's
This is
Greg?
real.
Who's this Greg?
He's the only person. He's Mr. Stats in the wild.
Greg, thank you for even being around to
Yeah.
absorb this. But there's no bit. This is us doing what we do naturally.
I think I thought of the funnier way to do this. We'll just watch it on my cell phone.
I like it.
We don't even have to stop
That's
anything.
right. That's hilarious. And then that's just going to keep Greg frothing at the mouth.
Yeah, Greg.
Well, I wouldn't flip Greg off.
I mean, he's a math teacher.
Greg
He should be flipped off.
Greg's our one confidant in this whole
All right, Wi-Fi.
flip side of a series.
Oh, man, this is the best.
Some Mexican lemon lime cola by Coca-Cola Mexico, by the way. I'm not giving anything away other than it's delicious.
It's pretty good.
And it's more of the cane sugar than the processed.
So, no, where to go? And you.
Tapping into your faux Latin roots.
Oh, here we go. It was because it was labeled as Shin Shake Yori. We need no network connectivity.
Should we talk about things that are coming up or things that we
like animes that are coming up?
I don't know, like other things relative to what we do in the entertainment sphere.
Greg, tell your students I'm gonna be on a show this Sunday at the Red Room, 7 p.m.
Nerds with jokes
Nerds with jokes
at the Red Room.
They say they're gonna have jokes, but you know,
I mean, I'm gonna do my thing as well, but I'm also going to dig into whatever nerdism that I have experienced. I remember the original Pong game before video games got wild. So you're gonna be like, "Who is this guy?"
Does that fact get you laid?
No. All it says is this guy's knocking the dust off of something. There's no yeah, there's no baby quotient here.
Let's see. Let's do
Looks like something illegal.
Let's do technology.
You got to do a little French press over here with your. I'd love some French press coffee.
We can make coffee.
Oh my God, make it! Is it French? You're gonna make French press?
I can make French
it's
press.
It's fucking delicious. I'd totally drink that right now.
This is the funniest thing ever. I can make coffee while you watch this.
My God, see, there you go. And I'll give you all a play-by-play of whatever I'm experiencing in my kind of novice notions.
Girl, open.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to hear.
Okay.
Wow, this is like you're showing me a whole new world.
I hope this is English subtitles.
I mean, we'll see.
Okay, wait. Well, let's watch this at the beginning real quick, and then okay. So I want to so this is the.
You set the tone.
I'm just saying.
It's your show.
I'm just saying. We'll watch this 3 seconds, and then I'll go make you coffee.
All right.
So this is basically 2 years ago.
Got it.
Like
Greg. Quiet, Greg.
Yes.
See you tomorrow.
A kid rolled his eyes and a door flew off a taxi
Right,
cab.
right, because he kind of
He's walking around nonchalant.
the camera's going in and out of focus. Now he's and he's sort of like, oh, he's basically just people are exploding. This
Exploding on the street.
he looks at them and they're just exploding in front of him. It's basically the Uvalde school shooting happening in anime before things have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
いいわけだね。ずるい。もうちょっとでこっちが勝つのに。あんたたち降伏しなさいよ。そうだよ。
We're winning. Because we're winning. We're not going to surrender when we haven't taken our flag. So it's a tie. Oh, so it's a game. So they're playing some sick game.
So this is 100 years after what you just saw.
Okay, I'm glad they pointed that out.
They do. It's so what I like about this is that it's one of those animes that shows you a society from the ground up kind of thing. So you're seeing it from the kid's perspective. So this is like the lowest level of society, you know, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
That so you build up from kids into seeing how this whole social structure works 100 years after the emergence of psychic powers. Yeah.
ね、待ってよ。まだ終わってない。
Lovely fucking purple
I
sunset.
do love the yeah,
The
the
silhouette.
yeah, yeah, the backdrops.
Silhouette me all day.
身の代。
Oh, cool.
目指してないだろ。
1,000 years from now. Okay, now got it. The music of Japan in general, it's pretty great. Incredible. Pop and metal and opera sort of all intertwining into one. It's kind of brilliant stuff. Yeah, right? Little Queen in the New World.
Yeah, I thought I had to leave to get water, but it's all right here, baby.
Look at that. You've got a one-stop shop here. Totally is.
So rad.
It is. It's fun.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! Excuse me if I
This is like the I think this is they're like preparing like a puberty like ritual. It's like a passing from childhood kind of thing.
Is this within the 5-minute time frame we're allowed? Well, we were just doing that to right.
私はこの屋根でその主演した無心と申します。
渡辺咲です。ここは。
この寺は正成寺と言います。
八丁締めの外なんですか。
そうです。あなたは生まれて初めて八
I like
丁
how
締めの
the female voices all sound like some panting female porn star.
I don't understand that
Yeah,
either.
it's
They've
you know,
never
it's
kind of
it's
done
their
that.
wild it's their wild repressive state that they're in. It's got it all acts out in anime.
I think it's kind of funny, like they're all so repressed, and like the like a lot of the female characters have those kind of voices in the animes, but then like they're not fucking over there because the women are pissed that the men are just so like limp dick, like they're not
No
manly enough,
metro, right?
basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that does seem to be the way. I mean, I think there was an Anthony Bourdain special that sort of highlighted that, or
Oh,
maybe,
really?
or maybe like a Japanese culture special that
Yeah, like you
brought
dove
that
into
stuff
the,
to light.
you
Yeah,
dove
like
into the kind of social
yeah,
aspect of it.
exactly. And it dove into the animation and why it was like so violent and what was being repressed before. And I couldn't tell you that. See, I am into it. I'm into the culture, of the whole thing. I'd like to know why. I was in Thailand several years
So
ago.
there she's like stuff's floating around her in a bedroom at night.
Okay. So she's got a little telekinesis.
Yeah. So they frame it as like blessing spirit. So it's like so the second it's introduced, they're already acknowledging it's a good thing,
Yeah,
so that you don't have this like the bad connection kind of thing.
I see.
That's all
A
part
bad
of it.
association.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's an underlying thing of, hey, something's being abused. right? Because there's always like, oh, yin and yang, like what's going to be
Oh
like,
yes, 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 yes. Like who? Yeah, what's being forgotten
Right.
in the like the
There's-
need for like order, basically.
there's always a nemesis.
Yeah, yeah. And there's who.
But I will say a lot of these cartoon features do, at least in my memory, do veer away from the typical good guy, bad guy
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
narrative and goes a little deeper into some
Yeah,
psych.
yeah. This dystopian one. Yeah, this was really like really fucking in that kind of thing where like there's no like ah.
Well, nothing's completely black or white.
Yeah,
There's like so many versions of gray area happening. Yeah, and mysticism and like politics and social, they mix it all together. And so this is already engaging as shit.
So I like that like they turned the
Now-
Shinto into a new kind of way of bringing these powers into society kind of thing.
Okay. And the Shinto again is defined as
No, I just say Shinto. I think like that kind of like the like Japanese religion where it's like a lot of ritualistic stuff,
right.
but it has basis in psychological like needs basically.
Yeah, a holistic view,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
will, in the cybersphere.
So basically they're kind of binding her powers in a mantra. So like everyone in society has a mantra that basically activates the powers kind
Okay.
of like so yeah. So it's kind of like it's built in psychological limiters in a way.
Now suddenly in a classroom with her peers that also have similar.
Like they all just went through it.
俺たち一班だ。守るが由来ね。よろしく。
Nothing to do with Squid Game because they're all mortal people. These kids are on. They've evolved. This is the next evolution.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, yeah.
できて作れない人もいらないです。にしても負け見てあるリリー。いくらなんでも。
So there's this kind of emphasis in younger in like younger adolescents like
Right.
that to kind of do a same-sex coupling.
Oh, really?
But then you eventually like grow out of that into like a normal heterosexual relationship. I think.
I wonder if like that today is sort of like, hey, I'm identify as, and you're sort of experimenting until you kind of go, okay, I'm really meant
Yeah,
to be one or the other.
yeah. So yeah, they kind of bake in that
Almost like a Rumspringa.
yeah. It's off the books. Like
It's all just ripping off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Amish.
yeah.
That's what it is. At the end of the day, it's just ripping off the Amish thing.
僕はあそこに似てる。どこ？ほら、秋山の時見学に行ったじゃん。
And I'm surprised there's no incest because they all freaking look the same. Sacred worms, LSD, yeah. There's a lot of like psychedelic looking things that look like pills.
知らないかな。
it's yeah, trippers.
Right, yeah, bags. They got bags.
ここが似てる。
Yeah, I have a couple of these like
2時間目は
you can almost say like dystopian-ish, like different world kind of society kind of thing.
Okay.
Like there's one where like basically everyone's wearing Google Glass, like all the kids are like wearing Google Glass, and then slowly like digital organisms start naturally forming,
Okay.
but the system sees them as viruses and stuff like that.
Ah,
And the kids are all like, no, they're like real. They're real sentient.
wow. Those that don't understand.
しめ縄の前にやってきた。
Still
ふと目をやると外側
Yeah, we're still going.
nice.
Just getting some.
Thanks, dog.
以前から出て八丁締めの外に
What kind of bean love is this?
釘を刺されてきた。 どうして
Oh,
も
that's nice.
時は
Great.
大人に伴われて出なくてはならないのさ。
Anyone chiming in going, what are you watching?
No, it's only Greg here, right? He probably left to go teach class.
Maybe he did. Maybe he's a professor. He's like, thanks for giving me my thesis for today. I was trying to follow him back to the village.
このままアッキーを連れて村に戻れ。
Has everyone had to do anime homework before being interviewed?
Well, I've
On the bond
it's only been
papers,
me and the German. I just got this off the first.
Wow. So I'm so that this is sort of a new era.
Yeah, yeah.
よく至るまで、アッキーは一度も現れていない。
Should appear since that day.
では皆さん、最初のページに戻って、内容を細かいながらもしっかりとイメージをしてください。
Where'd he go? Looks like a cartoon he's next to me.
見えてきたんじゃないます
I guess it is a card. Oh, but it is. Now I brought him back.
すごいね。はい。あ、ええな。
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
できた。マリアだよ。任せて。
Wonder if they can hear that out there. Look at this. This is some real pioneer stuff.
最後
Look
の
at the couch. Presents.
頼むぜ。
Come on, Michael. I did my best. Are we gonna watch this whole movie?
Huh?
Are we gonna watch this whole movie?
It's only like should be only 20 minutes. It'll show.
Oh wow. Oh, so it's a series. Okay. Is this on the flicks?
This is on Crunchyroll and Hulu.
Crunchyroll. God, I
and
thought
Hulu.
you were speaking a foreign language.
No, I didn't know what I was saying.
Oh,
We didn't ask any
I
questions.
sure
you-
didn't.
You Midwest goober.
I am such a fucking goober. What a novice I am.
All right, I'll clean these glasses for you.
Okay.
Keep watching this anime.
Yes.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience.
Thank you.
Bye.
All day, all night, all day. I really got to pee. I'll be right back. And we're back. Not really. If you haven't noticed, I am getting schooled on anime. I did not do my homework. Sometimes I just think he makes up words, but he was really saying Crunchyroll as a thing, as a televised network, and Hulu for me to watch these anime features. And I did not follow through with the homework assignment. I'm embarrassed.
ねえ、なんでレイコ誘わなかったの？配慮だよ。配慮、配慮。あんなんなったら
I will say the backdrops of these animation features are divine,
だって謝りすぎる。
gorgeous. The use in which they use to define these features are
能力高いんだぜ。旬もいるし
the
さ。
imagination of the Japanese people.
そんなことないよ。
It's undeniable, isn't it?
いつもレイコが失敗すっから何かあったって優勝できねえんだ。みんなもそう思ってんだろ？
Stuffy. All right. Sorry, I'm gonna focus. By the way, there is a show coming up
卒業式
Sunday the 19th at Red Room Theater. We're gonna take the time to promote because we're just gonna talk about this fucking anime shit all night, clearly. And
みんな気にならないの？
let me just take the opportunity to
噂だけどさ、聞いたことがある。
I'm still watching this,
先
by
生
the
たちもさ、
way, right?
この扉を開けるときだ
Totally
け
doing
中庭がちらっと見えんじゃん。そこにさ、すげえたくさんの。
Let's do stuff, yeah. Let's absolutely do some stuff. Yeah.
それ誰の墓なの？
So,
こんなの
so
か。とにかくものすごくたくさんの。
again, this is about anime. But Friday, there's a really great show going on that I might be performing at 2113 West Armitage this Friday, June
さ、
the 17th.
つまらなかったことがあ
It's
っ
a
たよね。
$20 entry, but people are going to perform over 10 minutes, over their 10-minute limit. There's going to be food and booze and tantric sex there, and you should go. That is a local last production from AMWP. Oh, hello! Hi!
Oh, hope you weren't Saying anything uncouth?
Nothing at all.
I don't think anyone is here. I'll keep the door open.
I do notice their backdrops, their inks are very I just love their perspective. I love how they layer everything.
It's really good.
Well, it's really thoughtful. It's really intentional. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's
not.
what I'm noticing about the artwork in this. It's incredibly intentional.
Those are the ones I like the most.
Yeah.
Is like I wait for an anime to like have good art style first, with like doing stuff with intention.
If it doesn't get me off in the animation, I'm kind of like, it doesn't really matter what the story's going to be. I know that's kind
yeah,
of Cro-Magnon.
it can be, but like it's harder to find an anime that has a blah art style and still an
Right.
A+ story.
Yeah.
So it's usually
Now, may I ask who the writers are of this? Like, did they have a history with the anime world?
I'm on the phone
Okay.
here, but let's
Kind of
see.
like Kung Fu Hustle. You know,
It
kind of
might
how
be.
that.
It might be. I think it's. I forget the
Look
company.
at these classy. Oh man, I gotta get a hobby.
Gotta get out, sir.
Well, I gotta get out of my rat-infested apartment. But we're gonna forget about that right now.
Rats. How nice.
Well, it's not as intense, but it's
Sentai. Sentai's pretty cool.
Sentai. The director?
It's no the licensors. It's A1. A1 Pictures is the studio. Producers are Aniplex.
You're talking about the style of animation.
さっき
Sucky,
大丈夫
sucky.
バカだな、お前。
I'm so done.
若えの頃から有名な嘘だ。
This isn't like heated. It's just regular glass, just so you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, I get it. But
'Cause
it's
I don't
it's,
have
it's lovely.
mugs. Yeah.
It's lovely. So it's a light roast.
So just
It's a light roast.
let it brew a little longer,
We're
but
gonna- yeah,
get a
we're-
little out of the cup there.
Yeah, of
please.
course. We're gonna let it simmer for a minute. This has already got like a nice formula, a nice note. I know it's gonna be a nice note.
Oh yeah. I'll also burn my fingers with
You're a
you.
classy man.
You got to start somewhere.
I mean, don't start where I did. So this is sort of a dream happening right now because of the echo. I see.
This is a memory.
Ah,
They don't really do too many dreams.
この先、
thank
全
God.
人学級や
I'll be really off.
うん。面白いかな。
ってなんだよ。はっきりしないな。
まだ入ったばっかりだからよくわからないんじゃない？うん。でもまあまあ。
I took the glass right when the music sort of. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just like a nice diffused. Like they treat the light like it's light.
Yes.
授業
Yeah. Well, they respect it. It's like
Yeah, it's naturalistic, and it's like because it's kind of like a reverse future where like it's not as technological, so they don't really have electric lighting.
mm,
卵をぶつけて好調だった無心商人にいっぱい怒られたのよ。
いつの話してるんだよ。
でもこのままじゃ
so I did say earlier.
そろそろ教育委員会が動く頃じゃ。
わからない。
図書館から教育委員会に影響を行使するのは難しいのよ。
The smell of the coffee is sort of waking me up again.
Good. I was falling asleep earlier.
Dude, I ate one meal and I was just like, oh, here it comes. And as I was burning hot all day, like just doing fluids, not heavy anything, and I was like, good, my energy's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And the first meal, and it was just like a kid's quesadilla menu. The meal was just all the proteins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. So like just handfuls of portions. And then as soon as I had the last bite, I was like, oh, and here it comes. And here comes the down. So yeah.
ほっとしてる。ほっとしてる。子供のほっとしてるってどういう意味なの？
そ
I like how
ほっとしてあ
they had the woman in the background.
お父さんたちだって宿礼が遅くて。
Yeah, I like what they're doing with the sound. It's like they're treating the sound as they are with the perspectives and the backgrounds and the inks of the layouts of the whole the backdrops.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Great. Very articulate.
So did you pick that up? She's remembering that maybe she had
attention to this.
she maybe had an older sibling
Okay.
that was like, if you kind of implying that like if your powers don't wake up, they kind of just like kill your kid.
Interesting. I
So
mean,
that was that.
which again,
So
this
at least
is-
interested you, bruh.
so
Get you interested, bruh.
So that was the cliff. That was the cliffhanger. I mean, that sort of harkens to, oh, Leia is your sister. I mean, it does harken to that Star Wars sort of family tie. I mean, it's kind of hard not to imitate that story over and over and over again. The Japanese do it, but just then and there, it's like, oh, you have a brother or a sister or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So there's that familial tie that is some sort of like powerful link. And that obviously is going to set the tone for the future episodes.
Well, just
Or
this like
no.
weird this weird underbelly of like not talking about certain aspects of the society. Like they're not talking about like she's trying to get her parents to admit that she had an older sibling
Right.
that was killed or something.
Mm.
Because like the parents are like, I'm relieved your powers came. We were also late bloomers.
Huh. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it.
Creepy.
I'm gonna watch this.
Psychological. We can watch
Can I
that.
be honest with you?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm honestly going to keep watching this.
So let's
You
yes.
sold me at it because now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I have to dissect it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to figure it out because I'm stupid.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I need to fucking figure it out
Yeah, yeah.
in my time,
Yeah, yeah.
in my own. I mean, this is a very comfortable environment
yeah.
to digest all of this. I think the colors also represent the cartoon that I've just seen. You've got little purple hues and all these different like colors, and I don't know. It's your whole aura.
Hell
It's
yeah.
it's as if acid was created from you.
Yeah, I am acid.
Yeah, you're Bontrager, but you're really LSD.
I'm really lysergic acid dimethyl.
Were you always this trippy and fun? Were you always
I don't
this?
even know what that means.
Were you always just sort of like
Was I always a unicorn?
Well, yeah. and was your IQ always at this level of entertaining and you
I
know?
guess so. People just don't make sense. They don't make sense,
Sure.
bro.
No, and you don't, but you do to me, which is interesting. It's like you're my kind of weirdo, as people would say. And someone's like, "Well, you're a weirdo," just like, but sometimes when people say it, it's like, "Hey, that didn't it didn't really sound
Didn't sound
a
nice at all.
complimentary." But what I'm saying to you, I'm saying I already love you because, and I don't say that to dudes, even though I don't mind having a little sausage on the side. I don't think that's wrong, and I'm very honored to be. You would be a person to introduce me and to change my mind about this genre.
So would you like some homework? Would
I-
you
I-
like would you like a
yes.
varied homework?
Absolutely. If it'll make you happy,
No, I
and
want to
feel-
make you happy. I want to show you. I
well,
want to show you a taste of what you've missed. So
okay,
let's-
I'm
so
totally
we got
open to it.
psychological world
It's gonna be
building.
better than like
do-
self-medicating myself.
Let's do really goofy. Let's do
All right.
extremely goofy.
All right, Greg, what does Greg think out there? Is
Greg, have you
still-
watched anime?
Well, you just now I can't even touch the glass.
It's hot again. I know.
Well, yeah,
That's how
Piece of
glass
shit.
works.
you're right.
All right. So
You
we're
should
doing.
probably have like a cork. You know what they should make, and you and I are going to invent it. Fuck you! Don't take our idea. The same shape, only in cork, where you can fit it in almost like a
cork
cardboard
cubby.
sleeve
A little.
for glass.
All right.
That
From the New World.
and it's going to say Bontrager on
I
it.
think we're gonna do. I love
Bitch.
Punchline. I love Punchline.
You love Punchline? Is that
I'm gonna get everyone to
is that a
watch
series?
Punchline eventually.
Oh,
Those are all
that's the name.
series.
Okay. I'm gonna
Is someone
watch this.
texting you? How rude.
No, not at all. Oh, Punchline. Like
Let's see here. What else? Like and subscribe, guys. What should we show them?
What you show me, rather.
Oh, wholesome.
From the
Let's
New
go.
World
Let's go. Let's go. Not enough people watch Mob Psycho 100. Let's do.
Well, I already like the sound of that,
Let's do Mob
so
Psycho
maybe we
100.
should. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I feel like Mob Psycho 100. I feel is the antidote to DBZ.
The antidote to DB,
It's-
which
it's-
is another
It's the
show.
yeah. It's the antidote. It's the antidote to like that toxic masculinity from Dragon Ball
Oh.
Z.
Oh, so there was toxic masculinity in Dragon Ball Z.
Have you watched Dragon Ball Z?
I mean, a little bit. It just seems.
Do you remember what the main thing?
Oh,
what they're doing?
I mean, that's kind of
They're getting the Dragon Balls,
right.
and they're usually getting the Dragon Balls to bring Goku back to life.
Ah, right.
Goku is a deadbeat dad.
No shit. I
He
see.
goes off to fight the world. He'd rather go off and fight the world than be a father to Gohan
Mm.
and then Goten eventually.
So it's really bagging on African Americans, isn't it? Fatherless children. Is that what it's trying
maybe
to?
that's why the hippie hoppies love the Dragon Ball
which
Zs.
is disgusting. So maybe there is a tie to just boys without fathers in general.
Well, there's also the Pokemon thing, where in the beginning of Red and most Pokemon games too, but
Yeah.
Red and Blue specifically, you're moving to Pallet Town. Like you start as like we just moved to Pallet Town.
Okay, Pallet Town.
Pallet Town. Yes.
I think I come
They
up
don't
with
call it Pallet Town because the houses are nice.
They don't call it Pallet Town because you put a bed of flowers on the top of it to haul to a local Walmart in their green gardenery.
So it's single mom at home,
Mm.
and then where's dad?
Is mom hot though?
She's pretty hot. She's banging Mr. Mime.
I mean,
But
hey, Miss Parker.
so and then dad, where's he at? 2 or 3 towns over in Viridian City, running a gym. Show up, dad.
For wayward boys that go missing into the dark web.
2 towns over.
Dude,
2 towns over.
sounds really rapey. Gotta admit, sounds very
Why is it rapey?
the movie Taken.
Why is it rapey?
I don't know. It's wild. It's certainly wild. It leaves a lot to interpretation, is what I'm saying.
Press F in the chat if you think it's rapey.
It's just 2
No.
towns
Open
over
the
dad
door.
on his own.
It's no longer.
He's making his own cult.
No longer moist in here. I can put
It's
the
no
glasses
longer
on my hand.
moist. I'm feeling moist. I'm stuffy. I don't know why. He keeps filling up my glass to the point where I can never drink it because it's always too hot. But it's okay. I'm gonna get there. Me and the Traeger grill.
No.
Okay, that's where I crossed the line there. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And back to our spot. We'll be right back. So I'm gonna do a homework assignment, and I'm gonna watch.
So I got
all
those. So we got
this anime.
some anime. You don't have to watch all of them. We can watch one at a time,
All right.
and then come back and watch. And we'll do there's the theory that like
Are we doing this every week?
we can do it whenever you want, man.
Good. Okay,
Do whatever
Oh,
you want,
thank you.
bro. I'll
Okay.
kill you.
bro. I'll let you kill
I'll
me
eat your
first.
corpse.
Not without Tabasco.
Why?
Not without Sailor Moon sauce.
Tabasco?
Tabasco's the Antichrist. It's going to be Chipotle. It's going to be real. It's going to be farm to table. You
I
pick
wouldn't mind
you
nice
pick the-
carbonara.
okay. It's going to be carbonara, but it's going to go right in my butthole, and you're eating it from there. If you're going to eat me at all.
Fine, you've convinced me. I won't kill you. Jesus.
Okay. I mean, I'm boring. Sorry.
God damn it. Yeah, there's a theory that you can't judge an anime until you watch the first 3 episodes.
Sure.
But whatever.
Yeah, it's most things in general to
Is
it? Unless it's Peaky Blinders, which I'm a huge fan of. And this season was amazing and crazy, and it's like,
was
where do we go?
because they kind of I felt like
Do
they
we go
fucked up in
anywhere?
the second season.
Oh, well, maybe. I mean, there's always like a lackluster season in a pretty vainglorious series, you know. And that's what he thought of that. So I'm thinking, oh, this is fun. How are your other guests? Your other guests,
They do stuff.
they do stuff. Are they?
Hey, now comedy.
Okay, now we're switching over. Okay, I was waiting.
I mean, unless you have any other anime questions.
You don't.
'Cause there's so many. There's so many animes. I got an anime.
I'm going to be honest. You're turning me back onto this. I could have cared less,
Yeah.
or I would have still been an appreciator, but not like an avid watcher.
Listen to this. A future world where they've developed the technology to essentially detect your emotions, like without even putting a probe in your head or anything.
feel like they're doing that now.
They are. But they've found some kind of new like they calibrated with like a lot blah 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 blah. They can
Yes.
basically censor your mood. So like everyone's given a psychopath score.
Mm.
And so if your psychopath score is green, you're good. Once your psychopath level goes above a certain level, it's
Mhm.
kind of like it's like Minority Report a little bit. They
Ooh.
assume that you're deviant and that you'll eventually commit a crime.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So then they have
Premise.
people whose psychopaths, they have deviants hunt other deviants, and they're the only people in the society who can like kill people.
Mm.
And they basically like have guns that like explode them.
Oh Jesus.
It's crazy.
That's heavy.
Yeah, and it gets heavier.
It's a lot of moving pieces there.
So many moving pieces.
So many moving pieces.
All the moving pieces.
that you could want in one anime. Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
90s. Okay, thank
Right.
you. See?
Press the marker. That means we're talking about comedy.
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 So, I'm doing it.
You like it?
I do.
Do you enjoy it?
I do.
You like the comedy?
I do.
Comedy. When
I'm
people
in
comedy.
I'm in comedy all
Listen,
the
when
time.
I comedy, I really enjoy when the comedies and my comedy just really comedy.
When it complements your comedy.
Yeah.
When it comediates.
I feel like the
Your
comediation, of the comedic language
Yes.
really
Accommodates.
accommodates
Your cacomonal.
Co-
Your commonality.
combinations
Congruently with
comedy.
duh. E.
Comedy.
I've March of last year is when I started, so it's been March, so it's been a year and some change.
Nice.
And
So you don't even have. I usually say, what's the origin story you tell people to shut them up the fastest? What's the story you tell to get laid? And then what's the real one? And we got one of
this
those.
is your outline for the interview today. I see.
Well, that's why I ask everyone for the origin story things. I'm like the Stud Turkles of the Chicago comedy scene. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool indeed.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if I've given you an origin story of sorts. Probably. Oh well, I will originize this. I started as a musician.
Oh yeah, you do the music.
I do
and
the string pluckins.
You pluck it.
I do the string fixins. I do the string strummins.
You twing twang twang twing.
Yeah.
The lap one.
Yep.
You do the is that a sitar? Because you sit down
There's
to play
no
it?
there's no squeal there's no elongated kind of notey harmony, no. It's a guitar harmonies. There's guitar harmonies, there's
I
harmonies.
was about to make a Fooly Cooley reference, but you're not cool enough to know what that is.
Yeah, Greg. Maybe you
Greg doesn't even know either.
I think he's
I gotta-
switched off and now we're in the music world.
I mean, it does say one viewer, and I bet you that's me.
Probably.
But I have a bass guitar that I keep threatening to learn how to play in Rocksmith. So.
We could get our jams on. There's a fellow comedian that is a friend. I was told not to have more than 2 comedy friends, but you've changed that.
Two comedy? What? You have a comedy friend?
I guess I do have 2 people that I talk to consistently that happen to be open micers, that we share ideas and critique.
Who told you to not have more than
Someone
one?
who is like a 10-year person. It's like, don't have more than 2.
Was his name Joe?
It was a she, and she's very nice. But I was like, as a warning, I was like, okay.
Yeah, but that's
But I mean, that's
she means if you're a female comedian, only have one other female comedian friend.
because
is what she
females
really
are by
means.
nature feral cats.
They say they're all about empowering each other, but they're all about empowering fists to each other's faces. more.
Yeah. This is the
Yeah,
age
it's a
of-
stereotype, but it's fucking true.
and we can say that.
Like
here.
I think, I mean, I like if 2 guys fight, if they fight long and hard enough, they'll eventually make out at the end.
Sure.
Like I think 80% of dude fights could end in a hug out.
There is a fisticuffs of sorts between 2 regulars, and I think that has come and went. But if there was more fisticuffs to be had,
Were
perhaps
you
they
there
would.
during the great Bob Keane DJ
I was
Sliderbite?
trying not to actually say names.
No, I will. DJ Sliderbite, get a new fucking joke. Why don't you Snoop Joggy Jog to a new fucking closure, you lazy fucking bitch?
I have no skin in the game here. It's horrible. I think I like them both.
Do
And
you?
well, you know what?
I'd like the Sliderbite if he would tell me why Sliderbite to begin with, and also
We've
if
never
he'd
had
end
a
on a
full
different joke.
yeah, we've never had a full
He
conversation.
doesn't conversate.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's his
Is it
prerogative.
okay?
I don't know if it's okay. Bob is
I don't think
certainly
it's
more
okay.
certainly a warmer person. It's over time.
Bob
I
is a
thi-
beacon of light
I,
and hope,
I think
and
he's,
Chicago.
he's quite the critique. He is someone who is a respected, I wouldn't say gatekeeper of sorts. I think he's a
No, I don't know. I wouldn't even say he's respected. I'm
okay.
saying
Let's
he's a
just
force to be reckoned with, and whether you like him
sure,
or not, he's
100%.
here to wreck up the scene. Because
Word up.
he found he found his Game of Thrones queen. I
Well,
think is what it really because like I
where
think he just needed some Jewish princess power to really kind of like
100%.
business it a little harder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I think the
I think that's
Irish
kind of what he was
I
missing.
think the Irish Jew contingent is in full effect here. I think it's working, and
You're
I
right.
think
If
I
they
think
ever
the
have
bit.
children, that's gonna fall over and
I think that
explode into a pile of
I
death.
think the business meets the fun. It's sort of like business meets the fun. The sour grape meets the rowdy Irish wrestler. Yeah, that might be the terminology we use here, and that's gonna get out.
Is
But
it? No one watches
I
this.
mean, I guess not. But now that I'm on,
I
it's
guess
gonna
it's
tell.
gonna get out. And DJ Sliderbite, fight me, you weak hoe.
I'm not saying anything to anybody. I do know there is a hierarchy in
We're
the
like the
scene.
same height, and I'll slap you down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
He's like he's got a big head. I think he'd topple
sure.
easy.
I think everyone has there's a few people with big heads and not necessarily in volume.
Mine, all meat,
Yeah,
all meat in here, baby.
there's I look like Fat Thor. That's how all meat I'm talking about. Like look like Fat Thor from Endgame.
Fat sore, you mean?
Fat Thor. Well, maybe I have a fat sore after hanging around Bontrager for too long. No, I'm kidding. Those are
I'm
spores.
offended.
Those are spores that are loving
I'll
spores.
I'll be offended right now.
Okay, I'm gonna let you feel your feels.
I'll be really offended.
So that was a great comedy.
What are your
conversation.
favorite open mics?
I mean, I really liked Killing It at the Kedzie. Greg Bartusiak was a very supportive lad, and Steven Springer as well. Um, Steven Springer's doing the old folk stuff with a lot of really bitchin' open mics. But the Red Room Comedy Club, ooh, gorgeous. Love it. Love the atmosphere. Love the vibe. I think the comedy bar I love the atmosphere there. That's in front of a real crowd. I've enjoyed that a couple of times.
Ooh.
It's always been positive. I will say the Killing at the Kedzie seems to be the who's who of the darlings. You know, if you can crack a smile on some of those hipsters' faces. And then
You call those hipsters?
I don't know. I'm 50 fucking years old. I mean, I started this at 49 years of age. So I'm coming into the game hot, son, in a new generation. Did I let out a secret that hasn't been said
What's the secret?
that I'm of age?
No,
But I'm of
I knew
fine
you were
wine.
Bobby Lee-ish.
Yeah, I'm Baba Liliev.
You're Bobby Lee-ish.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else do I like? Uh well, I mean all of them. There's Ashbury Improv, love it. I like to get out to some burbs.
I got a burb. I got a show
I
burb.
gotta do some black clubs. I gotta go to Riddles yet. Comedy Shrine is no longer. I always thought I could maybe do that.
I thought
There's a
that
place in
sh-
fucking Gary, Indiana. King David hosts that. That's like a very kind of funky little DIY spot that he has. But I love the fact that I could go all over Chicago and there's hot mics wherever you go. And every place that you go, I mean, beyond the little funny drama stuff we talked about, there's always connections you make with people. There's always support. There's always new followers, and you follow them, etc. There's an amazing, you know what it is between the music and the musicians that I know and the people in comedy that I know doing shows. There's no reason for me to pay $200 fucking for any national act right now. I'm completely entertained by what's happened locally.
Where are you spending $200 to see a national act?
I accidentally paid a little over $2 to see the Sunday Pitchfork where the Roots are headlining.
The Roots!
And Bad Bad Not Good is also performing. Tori Moy rather, and Earl Sweatshirt performing that day.
Is Bad Bad Good? Did they used to be Bad Bad Meow?
Nope.
Bad Bad Meow, they
Bad
died.
Bad Not Good. They did an album with Ghostface Killah called Sour Soul, and it's
Different
fucking
people.
genius.
There you go. Different people.
Yeah.
Entirely.
It's gonna be a good night. It was worth blowing the over $2. It was worth it.
Speaking of money, we're not over yet, but we'll do what they do, the plugs in the middle thing.
Oh,
Where can people get at you to say stop wearing socks hats?
they can say gofuckyourself.com. No, I don't have any allegiance to anything, really. I live on the south side, and it's a hat. And it's a hat because I haven't shaved the follicles that have made their way out of my skull. But they can find me at the Instagrams and the IG at Schaefer Eddie, my name backwards, incredibly creative. SHAFEREDDIE, excuse me. Or the Facebooks at Eddie, middle initial L for Luscious, Schaefer. You can find me in those two places. You're lucky. God bless you. Twitch to come. I'm sure tweeting will ensue. I'm sure Clubhouse might be a possibility.
You're a Clubhouse boy?
I mean, I tried it. I think I'm on it. I
I'm
don't
on
know.
it.
Yeah,
It's
on
all
it.
right.
Yeah.
I don't like it because people don't know how to cell phone.
Oh, right.
But for the most part, it's
Well, I'm learning, and I'm continuously growing, and I do have a YouTube channel that's blossoming now that I've had someone tell me how to properly upload videos. And you will see a Mr. Eddie YouTube channel very soon. I'll be working on.
Might I
uploading.
suggest don't post any stand-up clips.
Well, I just posted a whole fucking 10-minute jobber performance, but it's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it.
And
Let me
listen. I paid $100 for a 20-minute jobber that I did before I even really got infiltrated into this whole shit, which stuff I really don't do anymore. But it's a wild show, and the crowd is wild, and it's fun, and it's in color and black and white, and it needs to go up because I paid money for it. Or you're going to tell me otherwise. This interview is called "What
So
Not
you
to Do as a
paid-
Stand-Up Comedian,"
Okay. So I have opinions.
and I'm listening to them.
You started when?
March of last year. Oh, he's doing the calculations of my success. You should bow out now, or turn left at Albuquerque. That's what Bob Keane would say. He would say, "Stop doing it."
March of last
Incredibly
year.
helpful. I can finally now drink my coffee.
Listen.
Oh,
As you sip your coffee.
yes, I'm taking it. I'm ready.
Put
I'm
up
ready.
unlisted clips to show people and clubs and stuff, yada yada.
Right.
I do it to torture myself to put them live, but like, if it's your first year,
Yes.
don't
Don't put up anything.
save it.
Okay. That's not what I was expecting to hear, and I kind of like what I'm hearing.
I mean, like, I understand the objective. You're like, I'll put a setup, it might pop. And then people be like, oh, Eddie Schaefer is so funny because the video, millions of people watch the video. But then do you really want to pop off of a video of jokes you wrote in your first year? I don't know.
Well, okay. I mean, the stuff that recently, this last Thursday show, this is past a year.
I guess what I'm saying is like,
I see.
do you want to be remembered? Like, do you want it to be like written in stone, like something you did in the freshman year of high school,
I could.
versus the coolness of senior year of high school?
Well, I see your prerogative. I also don't mind describing, setting the context, and giving a timeline with the videos that have been posted. Like, oh, well, this clearly says da 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 da. Hey, this was made such and such, developing yada yada yada, and kind of see my progress. Or is it not the hip thing to be that literal? Again,
I just see a lot
I'm
of
the old
guys
guy.
who started 2 weeks ago and
Yeah.
they have 7 clips up on Instagram.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'm doing it right, because I thought I wasn't catching up enough, because I just have clips of me doing other random shit.
I'd
Great.
rather goofy, I think goofy short videos
Sure.
pop more than an open micer's set.
Sure. Well, the YouTube stuff is very sparse. There's only 2 things posted.
Like I see the Bob Keane putting up clips,
Sure.
but like he's been doing it for like 12 years.
Right. Right.
So it's like it's like
Is there a
in his
method?
judgment he thinks that you know what I mean, like I feel like
Here's
I would
this
trust his judgment more of what to put up, and he'd think that it would last, should be in stone. Or
Here's
whatever.
my question with this shit. Is this
What shit?
a geographical ideology? Is
What
this
shit?
your
This thing?
yeah, what your opinion of what should go up, what should not, based off of
No,
how
I'm not Midwestern.
okay, where you
I'm from
from?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, so you're East Coast. So
Yeah.
you definitely are ahead of the curve on
Calling
in my
people's passive aggressive bullshit.
well, I'm not that guy. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
you
no,
know
no.
I'm not
I know
that
you're not I haven't seen too many cloaks and daggers.
No.
You're fine.
I've also grown beyond that, and I think it's good I can look at, and there's things that bug me or I take personal. I'm like, I'm not part of the cool clique, or I can't get through to this really crusty ass person. But I'm also of a maturity now where I go, let me just enjoy the experience and try to be in the fucking moment and learn
Yeah, yeah,
and grow and just not take it personal,
yeah, yeah.
be as humble as I can, be as nice as I can, because life's too fucking short for all that other shit. But
yeah.
I am human. I do get caught up in all the hoopla too,
Yeah, yeah.
because it feels like a family, and
Yeah.
you want to kind of, and there's people within the family. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have to work with that person, aren't I? Like a job, but you can't think about it that way.
If you're the first couple of years in, you like want to do a clip, like it would make more sense if it's like a mini special, like it's like a mini
Mm,
hunk, instead of like
sure.
this is what I'm doing this date in who cares my mom's bathroom. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I'm seeing a few people that aren't maybe let's just say they're 2 years in,
yeah,
but they have little clips of Lincoln Lodge, little bits
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. There's
yeah,
constant content.
yeah. But I don't know if that leads to anywhere besides them
I
just
mean,
looking like they spend too much time making content of them.
I think they're like they're becoming hot pretty quick. I think they're fusing with the right people. I think there's certain people that other people like that have been doing it for longer that connect with them and they like their comedy. And I started backwards where I'm talking about stories. I'm talking about my life. The reason I got it is because it's cathartic. It's like I was doing it for me, for my own therapy. And then it turned into kind of, oh, the arts and crafts of it all. Kind of like I got into guitar. Like, I can play better than this fucking dork. And then and then I got into the arts and crafts. And then I got into the art and the culture of it and the tech and the history. And so I have a very purist thought process going into it as well. But I went into it backwards the way again, 10
Yeah,
year
yeah, yeah,
comics opinion. This was, hey, it's cool. I see where you're going. You started kind of from the back end where you're expressing yourself, establishing a character, who you are, story time, realism, etc., but trying to add your own versions of what punchlines are when you should be developing your punchlines and tech first. And then maybe 3 years down the road, you go, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. These are my opinions. And I thought it was interesting that I heard it from this gentleman. And again, a different opinion. I don't know if it's shared by most, but then again, it tells me what I'm learning, what I've learned about comedy as I was starting to edge into it is that there aren't any limits. There
Yeah.
aren't any particular rules. There isn't a fucking narrative. There isn't an outline, right? There isn't a
Right,
like,
right. Well, it's like the form. Like if you watch that new George Carlin doc, like he kind of basically he made our he basically kind of made our modern form. Like not single handedly or anything, but
right.
he was a big driving force behind that.
And I am influenced by Bill Burr and of course Chappelle and Dave Attell, and I do like to yell, and I feel like that's kind of a fun way of cathartically doing it, but I also don't want that to be a thing that I do, and I've been noticing that, and it's like maybe I need to lay off of that and just kind of like stick and move. And I
Mm.
had someone suggest like, "Ooh, Lewis Black is your jam, and I think you should emulate Lewis Black." And I was like, "Well, I see where that person's coming from, and that's what's entertaining for them, and they like the yelling that I do. But at the same time, it's like, well, I'm not going to
I
get
don't.
married. I'm not
I,
going to
I,
get
I don't.
married to that
It-
either."
Lewis Black's rage
It's his very own.
is old man rage. Your rage, I'll have to look at the video again, but I
Well, you know
think
by memory.
yeah. Oh, I think it's more like I was gonna say impotent nerd rage, but it's not like high pitched,
Right.
but it's that kind of like he's angry, but like
So it's sort of blow off anger.
yeah, it's just like that's cute.
Oh, wow. Well, I'd rather have it be cute than
Yeah.
than menacing, right?
Yeah. It's not like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lewis anger is like
Wow, interesting.
it feels like he could light the whole theater on fire.
Right.
You, it's like maybe like it's like yeah.
Not just like he's
Like,
not.
like stole his crypto wallet or something. It's like, I don't
Wow,
know.
So it's not that kind of like, oh, we got to take him seriously. We're like, turned on by his rage.
It's like, maybe keep an eye on him, but like, come on, really.
I think that's me. That's my whole life. Like, oh, he's got a bit of a spark, but he's a fucking
it's like,
teddy
come on,
bear.
it's fine.
Whatever.
We'll give him a puppy dog.
Yeah. We'll give him a bone. He's okay. He's a good guy. I think that's how I am in general. Like, and I think that's fucking hilarious, by the way, because it's probably me. Like, oh, he wants to be hard, but he's really not. I'm not trying to be. I'm just sort of like being wacky and
Yeah,
fun. But no, that's good to kind of know because I kind of don't want to have to be energetic all the time.
Yeah.
But people do the people that come up to me and be like, "Man, you really put it out there. You really go for it." I like that because it also comes from my musical background. And I'm sort of this guy who was really influenced by classic rock and some soul and whatever.
I think.
But just
Yeah,
giving you
yeah.
a little bit more definition of
Yeah.
maybe what's tying into this is I got kind of thrown into this DIY punk world in the 90s in a band, a three-piece that fused funk, ska, punk music, and pop, and evoked this sort of energy where kids were flying all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
And it was happy, his poppy stuff. It was heavy, but it was also danceable and uplifting. And I was a front man. I would definitely experience what a rock star feels like. But that whole mentality of like play your show like it's your last
Yeah.
certainly filters into
Yeah.
my performances. It's like I got a show and prove. Like I always
Yeah.
feel like I got to be on. Like some people and some friends, you know what I mean? It's like, hey Ed, you don't have to be on all the time, and I'm like, I get it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's good to have that because I'd love to be able to be one of those smooth, very measured paced Jesselneck types. It's
That's what I was trying.
so.
That's what I was trying to think of. So then I think you can. I think you can have this. You can have the smoothness,
Mhm.
but don't don't get stuck on like when you punch on the gas.
Mhm.
Don't like cement foot it.
Sure.
Kind of use it as like you can use it as a punch or use it as a like shut the room up as a
Right.
grab and attention
Sure.
to do a punch. So like either as the punch
I see.
or as the breath taker and then punch to release. Because the breath taker can like bring up the tension, and then your punch is the release. Then
I have noticed that crowds have been
yeah
really focused, and
because
it's
they
like,
focus, but then like I didn't.
but then they're not getting.
But then I remembered you didn't do anything with the focus.
Mm.
You just kind of like were on it.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Ah.
So you had the focus, but then
Interesting.
it didn't go anywhere. Like you kind of like you
Wow.
had the spirit ball, but you didn't fucking
Wow.
yeah. That's what I was trying to think. Yeah.
Well, I guess through the whole set?
Huh?
Through the whole set?
No, just when I remember because I was trying to remember like when you're raising your voice kind of thing.
Ah.
I just
During
remember
those moments.
I'm not remembering words. I'm just like feeling room energy kind of basically.
Mm-hmm.
I
think you're just trying to shit on me.
I'm not trying to shit on you.
On your podcast.
I will shit on you if I need to, DJ Slider Bite.
Wow.
Slider Bite was in here.
Don't put both.
Snoop
don't-
Doggy Jaws.
Don't,
Oh my
don't
God.
put those names in the same room.
Get the
Snoop-
fuck
I
out
mean,
of
I don't know.
here.
It's like,
Snoop Doggy Jaws.
is that his tagline for
That's just,
everything?
he's like something like Snoop Dogg working out. It's a Snoop Joggy Jog or some limp dick Reddit joke.
Okay.
Like it's just he probably stole it from Reddit. I think
I
Ariel
mean,
really
okay.
even said or someone said like I saw that joke on Reddit and it wasn't his.
Wow. Wow.
It's from 10 years
So
ago.
he's stealing stuff and not knowing about it, or just
No, he's just not worth
Jeez.
not worth scolding.
So I'm better. So
Yes,
I'm,
you're
okay,
better. You're
well-
already better.
well, thank you.
have frontman energy,
Mhm.
so you have tools.
Mhm.
You're just learning how to like adapt them to a different form.
There's
Basically,
definitely adapting going on. Well,
because like with the band, then like a guitarist or like a drummer can like relieve tension. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like you're moving it back like a 3-piece.
yeah.
Yeah. So like definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Because that's like a seesaw thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's like
Well, I got
Yeah.
Friday to get it right. Apparently, I got a whole weekend to perform shows. Yeah.
but yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing, a lot of people get attached to the truth too much. So like, if saying the truth of a story is getting in the way of getting to the point faster,
Yeah.
like we don't need to know you're hanging out with the friends, sisters, brothers, whatever,
Mhm.
because that's confusing. Like that's too
Yeah.
much stuff.
Less words. I'm working on
Yeah,
less
like
words.
either you're the person or like I saw, like just getting as close into the action as fast as possible with the joke.
Right. Understood.
Yeah.
I guess yeah.
Like I
Right.
hear a lot of people saying like stuff like another person said a funny thing. No, you said the funny thing. Fuck them. They're not here.
Mhm.
They're not on stage. They
Okay.
can't defend themselves.
Okay. Wow, this weekend's going to be a real testament. I feel like I've got a show Friday.
How is yours still higher than mine?
20
I have man fingers.
No, it's good. 2113 Armitage. It's going to be a great lineup. And then the 18th
Why is it so close to my house?
in Midlothian, which is E77 Sports Club. And then you and I are sharing the stage, Nerds with Jokes, at Red Room Comedy Club. So probably after those shows, and I feel like I am going to have to come up, and I'm getting material tonight, coming up with material that's very nerd specific, but still doing some of my things.
It's that cosplay. Are you cosplaying?
I mean, if I find a motherfucking Nick Fury outfit or a Samuel L. Jackson Jedi outfit, because I get paid Friday, that's happening. I should probably have already ordered that on Amazon, because I could pull that off, and I have in the
We
past.
can maybe find you a duster at Surplus.
All right.
Army Surplus.
Are we going to go shopping Friday or this weekend
We can
then?
do it.
All right. Well,
I don't even know if it's open, but
it's probably not. It's what's going on. What, 9?
yeah, it's 9.
Okay, so maybe like 9:30. Just because we could go do that open mic.
That'd be really funny. It would be an experiment. I'll upload this whole thing. It'll be the first video on the channel.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Okay.
All the others getting edited. You heard it here first.
It's
Fuck
going to
you,
be
Greg.
basically teaching this fucking novice how to get cultured and perform better.
Yeah.
I'm fine being a guinea pig. These are my confessions. This is my process.
This is your
And you're
process.
all witnessing it. All 2.5 of you.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe
Get a lot of hits.
maybe we
this
can
bu-
teach each other things. I mean, you're not being too perfectionist about the clips thing. I just don't get it. I don't see the point in it.
These are your opinions. I mean, across the board, I could be like, hey, great, thanks, and fuck yourself. I'm
Yeah.
still going to do what I'm going to do. And there's,
Listen, I understand.
but I respect you, and I respect, I hear a lot of different opinions, and you've been doing this for how long?
Long enough.
That's bullshit.
5 years?
Okay,
6
well
years?
that's plenty. That's plenty, dude. So you already, and you're from the East Coast, and you just start in the East Coast.
No, here.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
got you here?
School.
All right.
Yeah.
And what did you major in? Or is
The
that
film.
ah?
All of the film.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Production design, minor in theater directing.
Oh my
I'm
God.
pretty good. Pretty cool
Nerds
like
with
that.
jokes.
They even got it to say minor in theater directing on my
on your
yeah,
yeah.
it's so dumb.
Oh my God.
It's the dumb.
That's kind of
It's
fucking.
on the
It's
transcript.
kind of
As
fucking
minor
great
in
though.
theater directing. It's the best.
I hear collab. As soon as
Bachelor
you-
of Arts in Film and Video,
God.
minor in
It
theater
just sounds
directing.
like trust fund kid. It just sounds
You-
like
I wish.
it just sounds like
If I was
someone's going to be working at GoPuff for the next 16 years.
If I was a trust fund kid, we'd be doing this in a giant warehouse. We'd walk next door to my climate controlled mushroom grow lab.
Oh my God, that sounds. You know what? Let's not stop dreaming.
I mean, I could use a patron. If you want to patron me, I have plans for a shroom grow up. I found stuff.
It's the future. Microdosing just makes everyone nicer. I don't really do.
Do you
drugs.
know about the drugs of the mushrooms?
I do.
Do you know how it works?
I mean, I don't know the process in growing them, but
There's
I do
no,
know
I mean the chemical,
ingestion.
the
You mean
psilocin,
psilocybin?
psilocybin, Bayestin.
Sure.
You know about
I
Bayestin?
mean, no, I don't know about Bayestin.
So there's three active ingredients in psychoactively active ingredients
Okay.
in mushrooms, and it's the psilocybin, and the Bayestin. Psilocin or psilocybin, I forget, turns into the trippy stuff. Your body
Mm.
turns the one into the trippy stuff,
Yeah.
and then Bayestin, I think, is the part that like makes your stomach feel all weird and a little
Sure.
anxious and
When you're a
stuff.
little
And I feel
queasy.
like, because like
That's right before you ride the dragon.
Yeah. I
Mm,
feel like
you
I found a strain that has.
Lift off.
It says it has no Bayestin in it, and I
Mhm.
think that could be an interesting experiment.
Yeah, because you could go from phase 1 to phase 3.
Yeah.
You could cut out the middleman.
And then there's also another one called Jedi Mindfuck,
Mm-hmm.
where they said it grows really big fruits. They said they heard someone grow a dried. It was dried, 42 grams, dry. One
Wow.
mushroom.
Interesting.
That's like,
Without any moist, without any wet.
yeah, it's all dried out. So like wet is probably 200 grams, because it's usually
That's
like
a
it's
lot of-
usually 3 times the amount of when it's wetness.
That's intense.
That's a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
I know mushroom stuff. I have a textbook called Mycelium Running. We can grow it outside in the woods.
Hmm. Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'd be into it. I think you're a hippie. You're
Mushroom
a little bit of a
empire.
hippie.
We could do a mushroom empire.
I think.
Trump became president, and I was like, everyone thinks I grow shrooms already, so I might as well just grow shrooms.
Well, I just say lean into it. Lean into what you are, what you already do.
Grow the shrooms. The shrooms are easy. They're gross.
Yeah.
I don't like touching
Of course
them.
they're gross. Yeah.
They're wet and they grow really
Yeah,
fast.
and yeah.
They're really
mhm.
quick. But I found a thing. It's like it's like a $500 thing, but it's air. It's got the it moisturizes the air automatically, Wi-Fi and stuff. It
That's
measures
wow.
the humidity levels, and you don't gotta touch anything.
I mean, why should I be surprised?
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good thing.
I love where we're going. I love technology for those reasons.
That's a good technology.
To evolve.
Yeah,
You know? And I mean, the hippie does come out in the summer. I am part hippie. I think I've been in denial of that as well. And I like leaning into that. I think kind of growing things naturalistically is obviously been the way forever, but I think we're embracing a lot of those organic things, and
Yeah, I think
thing-
shroomies are getting legal all around. Like,
Well,
spreading.
it's only going to be a matter of time. I mean, people are already experimenting with microdosing, which I think is the way. I think I've got enough going on upstairs. I don't need to add anything else right now. I've done it. I mean, I've tripped on through to the other side, and I don't need to continue that. Especially when I'm more of an amphetamine guy, and it turns into like it could turn into the white girl really easily, and into the pornographies really easily, and just sort of like getting self-absorbed. But that's also got
I
other
think it's
things to
fun to
do
do
with.
a tiny bit of shrooms where it's like people throw the microdosing thing around a lot, and they don't really know what they're talking about.
Well, I
They're
mean,
not like
I
they're
don't
doing
say
rant and saying it's microdosing.
yeah, I mean,
But like I do
I don't
I
know.
do a little bit over the threshold of because like you're not supposed to microdosing. You're not supposed to feel it at all, basically. But I do it a little bit over the threshold, and it feels like a cup of coffee.
Okay, that's what's up.
And you're like
That's great.
visual acuity, but you're
Sure.
not like
Well, you're
stuff's
not
not
tripping.
wiggling. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's right. Excuse me. Boy, coffee is working in the adverse.
You've had too much of it now.
Apparently, yeah, that's a thing too. I think we all tend to abuse and just go over fucking board. And like with weed, I don't like riding the fucking dragon. So it's like right now I'm not smoking it. Right now I'm not doing anything, whatever. But when I have overdone, it's always, and I don't like the sensation of not being in control where I can't have a conversation. I like having the discipline of just like, well, teeny puff here and there and be like, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where I'm feeling relaxed. It's done the medicinal part.
Yeah, yeah.
It's holistic, and I'm just a touch deeper into the conversation, into
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
conversation of the day or the person that I'm connecting with in that particular way.
You like
And
to be mom high.
oh, Mom. Wow, I'm a fucking man. I'm getting harshed.
God,
I'm getting harshed by this nerd.
you
Fucking
wish I was a
sucks at
nerd. I'm a
comedy,
freak.
fucking anime, hack, fucking mom.
I mean, at least you, don't.
You know what?
At least you
Look,
don't say you watch anime and then proceed to only talk about Dragon Ball Z. I mean,
Dude,
so you're already.
I'm not gonna lie.
already up on it.
I'm not gonna lie about anything to you. Look, I'm not.
You already have more cred by like starting with like Akira. So like,
Oh, I mean that's my base. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
default line. That's just like, hey, started as a musician, fell into this, felt natural, and I did it, and I wanted to do it, and had something to say, and then it's like now I'm learning, and now I'm getting. You know what? Sometimes you just got to jump in the deep end of the pool and fake it till you fucking make it, baby.
yeah,
And that's kind of what I'm doing, I suppose. But I'm also being honest about it. I'm owning up to whatever's out there, and I'm still forming a bond with community, and there's still folks that are digging what I'm doing. And you wouldn't be fucking with me right now if you didn't think there was something to fuck with.
yeah. I mean, you have at least one or two good kidneys that can sell. So
Yeah, and one or two good jokes that could
That's-
be
that's-
hard.
That's pushing it.
Okay,
Jokes,
cheers,
stories,
cheers, mate, and endings. Let's go. No.
Yeah, I don't know. We can end it now. I don't know how to end it.
I know that was pretty good.
I never know how to end things.
I mean, was there a third tier of questioning?
I could put a marker here, and we could do it. We could do a real quick best guest Bon Traeger.
I like that.
It's a okay. We'll do it. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is best guest Bon Traeger. I'm Bon Traeger. I'm the best guest in the world, and today's host is Eddie Schaefer, Eddie,
AKA
take it away.
Mr. Eddie.
Take it
Hey,
away.
you've been
This is your podcast.
so first of all, have you noticed how I beat the shit out of you at chess already?
I noticed how you cried when I took your horsey, and you haven't made a move after that.
This is my podcast. So,
Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for upgrading my gear, because this is all my gear that I've bought and paid
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
The lighting, everything,
Yeah.
the drugs that you're smoking, the
Yeah.
coffee that you're drinking.
I mean, you mentioned I should smoke your drugs. You're so right.
Yeah, you probably should, because it's all for you. Because I spare no expense with my guests.
I mean, you're just, yeah.
Now,
Hospitality.
now you're a transplant from the East Coast to the No Coast, and you apparently
Mid coast.
I've done mid coast. I've done some research on you, and you're definitely into the films, into the arts, into the productions.
Holy, that's you got a crazy research department.
Yeah, I mean
Hmm.
it's a lot. I mean, I do have a very well staffed and well paid research department that follows up on all the guests. I don't like to take my guests for granted.
Yeah.
I also know that this is a real miniature helium tank that was crafted
Yeah.
by your team of experts.
Yeah.
And it's
And
become
aged 30 years.
an age 30 years
No,
from
it's probably
from the deep blue
18
sea.
years?
18 years? Okay. Okay. Well,
I don't know math.
I love the fact that yeah, I'm glad you could kind of, I'm glad you could grace me with your presence.
Yeah,
And
lovely office.
thank you.
Shit art on the walls, but lovely
Yeah,
office.
the art. I'm gonna have to work on the art.
Yeah, what
I
is
mean,
that?
that is sort of like some Mambla. Remember Mambla, the Man Boy Association? It looks like two Greek.
I thought it was Nambla.
I don't know if it's a man and woman or if it's like his son going, "Daddy, I feel something differently than most sons do to their fathers," and he's like, "Well, let's talk about this in the vomitorium." And basically just art. It's art that needs to be changed.
I thought it was a man remembering his dead husband by holding up her decapitated head in one hand.
Right. Or is it the other way around?
That's a lot of bust to hold up for a woman.
It's a lot of bust. Needless to say, it needs to bust up out of here. Boop, boop, boom. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Twitch, twitch, twitch. That's the interview. I don't like being a host. You're so much better at your own hosting.
No, it is. You're hosting so good.
Okay. So we've got a lot of accoutrement here. How do you think all this stuff got here? What's the purpose of all of these little items?
I love your hosting style. You ask me about your studio. It's pretty
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah. I like to get to know other people's perspectives
Yeah.
on the things that I've bought and paid for,
Yeah, yeah.
and that I've been producing with.
Yeah. Well, I think you're like a huge nerd because you have a lot of Dungeons and Dragons 5 ebooks here.
Yeah.
Dungeon Master's Guide and
a long time.
Xanathar's.
Took me a long time to get that series.
Xanathar's technically not canon anymore, so that's a rare printing.
Right.
Rules in those have been rewritten to be more inclusive. There are no
Well, inclusivity means at least 3 paychecks.
Did you know that they actually changed the rules so there's no negative well, that negative racial traits aren't forced in D&D anymore for player races.
Oh, I mean, is that something that was a standard for D&D?
Do you know about the Drow?
Oh, the Drow. Do I know about the Drow? Why don't you tell me what you think the Drow is?
So the Drow are they made a pact with Lolth. They made a pact with Lolth. And they diverged from the the sun god version of the elf's god.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a subterranean elf race. They have a darker skin.
Oh wow!
And they live underground, and they're
shocking to me.
It's a matriarchal society.
I see.
Yeah, wow. And so,
Black trans lives matter. Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, if you were to play a Drow playable race character, and you're not doing your entire campaign underground,
yes,
you take disadvantage on perception because sunlight.
That's certainly not my perspective, my narrative, but I'm glad you've defined it in such a way that I'll have to look at it differently now.
Yeah. What are your opinions on Lolth?
I think it's a loath of shit. I think I'm pinching a loath right now.
I don't think those books are yours at all.
I think maybe, I don't know. I do have a secretary.
Yeah.
I mean, I make suggestions. She comes up with it. She does some research. I work with her halfway. I go, you know what? This looks legit. I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
At some point. And you know,
when my
get the loaf
when my manager said you're going to be on Best Guest Bontrager.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, and I still don't.
Good. We should probably end there then to keep it interesting.
Let's end on an Adult Swim freeze frame thing like that.
All right.
We'll just stare at the camera.